Did you see the latest Candace Owens theory? I saw, and I promise I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but seriously. Today, she's talking about remote viewing, which for those that don't know, her latest theory is that Charlie Kirk is using ancient Sumerian technology, you know, Sumer, the ancient Fertile Crescent civilization from the dawn of history. She says that the CIA, through Project Looking Glass, acquired ancient Sumerian technology, which allows them to see the future. And the CIA has been tracking Charlie Kirk since his childhood because they identified him early on as a gifted child. So they have been handling him and grooming him since he was a little boy. And the reason that Charlie Kirk knew that he was going to die is because he saw the future using this ancient technology. That's where we are now. So very early on, we had a lot of leads that had not been fully investigated. There was talk about a donation from Israel. There was talk about a meeting with Bill Ackman. People were speculating about lost security camera footage from behind. You know, there were at least some like somewhat credible leads, some unanswered questions, and then it very quickly moved into targeted energy weapons, trap doors, body doubles, a secret beekeeper society. And then it was the Egyptian planes. Then this guy. Now we're just full on into like clockwork elves, transdimensional beings, demons. It's totally insane. I don't know how anybody's still with that. And I feel very vindicated because I was very early on and very forceful, and I took a lot of flack for it. Back in September, I said, this stuff is totally insane. There's no evidence for it. It is probably the most simple explanation and most logical that some hicklib with a boyfriend thinks that Charlie Kirk is a Nazi transphobe, got his grandfather's gun and shot him. Totally plausible. Happens all the time. How many transgender school shootings have happened in the past 3 or 4 years? There was Audrey McHale. There was the one in Minneapolis when they shot up that church. There was that one in Texas. I don't know if that was McHale or if that was a different one. There's at least 3, 4, or 5 in just the past few years. And that seems to be where it's coming from. So the idea that some gooner hicklib married to but dating a tranny decided today's the day that we shut the transphobes' mouths, gets up on some perch accessible to any pedestrian, takes a shot. I mean, to me, that makes a lot more sense than this convoluted, what's even the theory at this point? We're just going from one thing to the next. If one theory doesn't work out, we just make up one that's more ridiculous. If that theory doesn't work out, well, that's also part of the conspiracy. They are trying to trick us. It's much bigger than we thought. The conspiracy just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And now the conspiracy to kill Charlie Kirk is about the space-time continuum itself. Like, think about how small it started.
Yeah, so Nick brings up a really good point that although I like a good conspiracy theory just like the next guy, but what if it's just as simple as just somebody crazy, someone is like, oh, Charlie's going to be on this campus. Yo, I'm going to take him out. A lot of people, some people are very split when it comes to Candace Owens' whole investigation on this thing. Because her show, if you go on her channel for months, it's just been nothing but Charlie Kirk related things. Now, in previous videos, I mentioned I'm a big Candace Owens fan. So I like Nick and Candace, okay? There's so much stuff going on in the world I think Candace could be focusing on. Candace did know him on a personal level that a lot of us do not understand. But at the same time, when you're talking about time travel, I can understand why you do lose some people. I'm not going to call you crazy or anything because maybe you did have those deep conversations with a close friend and maybe you guys did talk about visions.
Started out with like someone was stealing money at Turning Point and they didn't want Charlie to find out. Someone was embezzling $1 million, so they killed him. So it's like a Turning Point conspiracy. Then it turned into well, Israel killed him because he was about to turn against Israel. Then it turned into, well, Israel, France, Egypt, and the United States killed him because he was going to reveal something that would change international affairs. Now, he was an indigo child. He was being groomed from birth by men in black hats, by these extraterrestrial beings, because he was going to break the space-time continuum. Reality broke. The Mandela effect happened. One universe combined with another in the multiverse when Charlie, and it's like, you know, at what point do you get off the conspiracy train and just say, you know what, some tranny killed him? Like, they're crazy, they hate us, it's totally plausible. So anyway, I saw that today and I'm like, I read the caption for the clip and then I watched the clip and I was like, wow, I can't believe this is real. But I guess I should. How quickly you go from I was told in a dream, my witness is in purgatory. Your Honor, I call to the stand Charlie KIRK. Order in the court. Counselor, what do you mean you call? He's dead, Your Honor. He's in purgatory. He testified in my dream. And then like the court erupts. I'll allow it. Objection, Your Honor. You can't call to the stand a witness from purgatory. Overruled. I'll allow it. And then she gets on the stand. I had my dream last night while we were at Israel and come on, guys. Anti-Semitism used to be smart. We used to be the smart ones. Don't you miss that? It used to be an elite club. Charles Lindbergh, Henry Ford, Mel Gibson, Richard Wagner, Hitler. And now it's Candace Owens. It's like people with face tattoos. It's like people that believe that are into all this like alternative medicine stuff. You know, people that put their phone in like an EMF bag because they're worried about like radioactivity or something. And it's like, brother, we gotta retreat from that whole deal. Like we just need to carve out our own space. Refugees in our own movement here now. Anyway, so my witness is in purgatory. Now that's a new one. My witness isn't, and watch them say I'm not Catholic for saying that. I don't, I believe in purgatory. I don't believe that people intervene in global politics from purgatory, making appearances like that. But who knows? I mean, when the space-time continuum is at stake, Candace is an alien, Charlie's a time traveler.
So this is why you got to keep your private conversations and text messages between you and your best friend, in my opinion. Because let's be real, if you just say the stuff that you talked about, the stuff that you talk with your best friend about, if you just say it out loud to the general public, you just sound loony. A lot of people are going to think you're crazy, even when you're not. Like I said, I don't think Candace Owens is crazy or anything. I think she genuinely believes that her friend was set up and he saw visions of his death. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think she's very passionate. That's why she keeps doing these streams. She's very passionate about solving Charlie KIRK's murder, even if it is as simple as someone just being a lunatic, mental illness, and just killing him because he doesn't like his views. It could be that simple.
It is an absolute fact that Charlie KIRK thought that he was a time traveler. He told me he was a time traveler repeatedly. I showed you guys that text message exchange. I said to him in response that I didn't feel the same way and that I thought I was from another planet, that I was an alien my entire life. Just do not get it here. This planet is ghetto. That's how I feel. I don't understand it. The rules don't make sense. I think that's also why I like cats so much. I feel that they can relate to that. They think humanity is ghetto. They don't want to be around us. They don't like us. They know it's ghetto. It is ghetto here, right? CIA's Project Looking Glass. Essentially, there were these whistleblowers, like I told you, in the military and within the CIA apparatus that came forward to reveal that the deep state had a technology, which they stole, of course. Please do not miss the part that I keep explaining to you. These people are not smarter than you. They're just more evil. They steal, they plunder, and they steal things, and then they rewrite history and pretend that they were geniuses. Anyways, they have a knack for murder. They have a knack for theft. And this time, just like a lot of times before, they stole a device from the ancient Sumerian civilization that's located in modern day Iraq. very advanced civilization. They're obsessed also with Egyptian civilization, as we discussed yesterday. The Satanists kind of taking and reintroducing these things. First, they keep them to themselves, they hoard these things, and then they kind of give us certain aspects of technology as time goes on. So they steal this piece of technology and they incorporate it into a computer, and suddenly they're apparently able to predict future outcomes. Just imagine the deep state being able to look into a glass, so to speak. The Sumerian culture was known for their advancement in glass, and to see different outcomes. I mean, the amount of power that you would have, and then also fathom in your mind that the people that are Satanists.
Yeah, so that's a clip that's just making its rounds online right now. And on surface level, you know, first impressions does come off, if you didn't really know what Candace was about, or you know the lead up to it, or what's been happening the last few months, it does come off as, you know, whoa, this is insane, this is crazy. So I really want to know what I'm gonna read the comments. I really want to know what you guys think about this. Is Candace gone too far? Is Nick rightfully so to cook her? I like them both, but it is kind of interesting. So let me know what you think. Peace.